In 1901, divers found a lump of corroded bronze in a Roman shipwreck. Inside, a secret that would rewrite history. The wreck lay near the island of Antikythera, a time capsule from 2,000 years ago. What was this strange device? At the museum in Athens, the calcified lump sat ignored for months. It was believed to be just another piece of rock. Then, a piece broke away, revealing something impossible. Not rock, but a complex mesh of bronze gears. Gears of this precision were not thought to exist until the clockmakers of medieval Europe. So what was this doing here? The object was fragmented, its purpose a complete mystery. It was a puzzle box from a lost world, waiting to be solved. This began a century-long investigation, uniting historians, scientists, and engineers. Every stone, or in this case, bronze, carries a story. To unlock its secrets, they had to journey back in time. Back to the world that imagined and built this impossible machine. The manuscript turns to the world of Hellenistic Greece, a time of great thinkers, astronomers and engineers, like Archimedes. They built great temples and calculated the circumference of the Earth. But could they truly have built a mechanical computer? The cargo ship was likely sailing from Rhodes or Pergamon to Rome, a luxury vessel carrying treasures for a wealthy Roman patron. Among the recovered statues was the famed Antikythera youth. Art and science traveling on the same doomed voyage. Early researchers, like Derek de Solla Price, dedicated their lives to this puzzle. He called it a discovery of the first order. His first challenge was simply counting the gear teeth. Corrosion had fused many of the 82 surviving fragments together. Each gear tooth was a clue, each number a piece of a celestial code. The stakes were higher than just understanding one object. This could prove that our timeline of technological progress was completely wrong. A hidden chapter of human ingenuity was at risk. Why was this knowledge lost? Why did it take over 1,000 years for similar technology to reappear in the historical record? The first major clue came from the main gear on the front face. It had markings corresponding to the Egyptian calendar and the Greek zodiac. This suggested its purpose was astronomical. Not a weapon, not a toy, but an instrument for understanding the heavens. The manuscript turns to a new chapter, decoding the gears. The mystery deepened with every fragment pieced together. Price proposed that one large gear made a full rotation once a year. A pointer would have shown the sun's position in the zodiac, but the ancient Greeks believed the sun orbited the Earth. How could this machine model the cosmos as they understood it? The gears were the key. Their tooth counts were not random. They were precise ratios, matching the movements of the planets and moon. One crucial gear system modeled the moon's subtle variations in speed, a feature known as the first lunar anomaly. This was astonishingly clever. It showed a deep understanding of both astronomy and mechanical engineering, blended together perfectly. But the surface was still too corroded to read everything. For decades, the deepest secrets of the device remained locked away. The story seemed to reach a dead end. The puzzle was simply too damaged, too ancient to fully comprehend with existing tools. But then a new generation of technology arrived. Tools that could see inside the bronze without ever touching it. In the early 2000s, an international team used custom-built scanners. They were about to peer into the machine's heart. The high-resolution scans would create a perfect 3D model, revealing every gear, every tooth, and every hidden inscription. The results were breathtaking. Thousands of tiny Greek letters, smaller than a grain of rice, were suddenly readable. It was the user manual, written right on the machine itself. A guide to the cosmos from 2 millennia ago. The text described the risings and settings of stars. It mentioned the colors of eclipses and what they might foretell. This wasn't just science. It was also philosophy and astrology. The Greek worldview, perfectly encapsulated in bronze. The back dials were even more incredible. They tracked cycles for predicting both solar and lunar eclipses with startling accuracy. One spiral tracked the 223-month Saros cycle, a pattern the Babylonians discovered. The Greeks had mechanized this ancient knowledge. The other dial showed the timing of athletic competitions, including the Olympic Games, held every 4 years in a specific cycle. It was a social calendar as much as a scientific one. a device connecting the heavens with life on Earth. The scans even revealed the planets. Pointers from Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn were all part of the design. The manuscript turns to its final revelations. The full picture was finally emerging from the corrosion and the depths. They had reverse-engineered a 2,000-year-old masterpiece of science. The Antikythera Mechanism was understood at last. It tracked the position of the sun. It showed the phase of the moon. It predicted eclipses years in advance. It was, in essence, the world's first known analog computer. A mechanical calculator of the cosmos. Who could have built such a thing? The clues point to the island of Rhodes, a hub of astronomy and engineering. The astronomer Hipparchus worked there, as did Posidonius, a great philosopher and teacher of Cicero. Cicero himself described such a device, a sphere built by Archimedes, one that showed the motions of the heavens. Perhaps this was that very tradition of machine-making, a lineage of genius that had been almost completely erased by time. The mechanism shows that ancient Greek innovation was far more advanced. They weren't just thinkers, they were incredible builders. It raises a profound question. If this one object survived by chance, how many other wonders have been lost forever? The seafloor is a vast museum, holding stories we have yet to discover. Antikythera was only the beginning. Think of the gears, cut by hand with immense precision. Each tooth angled perfectly to mesh with the next. The device was housed in a wooden box, roughly the size of a shoebox, with doors that opened to reveal its cosmic secrets. A knob on the side would be turned to set the date, advancing time to see the past or predict the future. This single object contains a library of ancient astronomical knowledge, all encoded in the language of mechanical motion. Its loss was a tragedy, but its rediscovery is a gift. A second chance to appreciate this lost chapter of our past. Modern replicas have been built, confirming the researchers' theories. They work perfectly, predicting the sky just as intended. The Antikythera Mechanism reminds us that history is not a straight line. Knowledge can be gained, lost, and found again. It represents a peak of genius that would not be seen again for centuries. A brilliant flash in the long night of history. The Roman Empire's focus on civil engineering may have let this tradition fade. Roads and aqueducts took precedence over cosmic clocks. As we reach the story's end, we see its true meaning. It's not just about gears, but about human curiosity itself. The desire to understand our place in the universe is an ancient one. This machine is a testament to that timeless quest. It connected the sprawling heavens to the palm of your hand. A portable cosmos, powered by nothing but ingenuity. The story of Antikythera is a story of connections, between the past and present, between art and science, and earth and sky. The shipwreck continues to be excavated. Divers are still searching for the missing pieces and other lost treasures. Each new find adds another sentence to this incredible story. A story that began with a single lump of bronze. It is a powerful reminder of how much we still have to learn. The past is not a dead thing, but a place of discovery. The echoes of this device are all around us today, in our watches, our computers, and our own explorations of space. The spirit of its creators lives on in every engineer and astronomer. Every person who looks up and asks, "What if?" It is a humble object that tells a grand story of a forgotten world as complex and curious as our own. A puzzle that took a century to solve, and a world to appreciate. The Antikythera Mechanism is a treasure of all humanity. So the next time you see a complex machine, remember this story. Remember the ghost of an idea from 2,000 years ago. It teaches us that innovation is not a modern invention. It is a deeply human instinct, as old as civilization itself. From the bottom of the sea, this strange device rose to change our world. It redefined what we thought was possible for the ancients. It proves that some stories are never truly lost. They just wait patiently in the dark for us to find them. The journey to understand it took generations. And in doing so, we learned as much about ourselves as the device. Every stone carries a story, and this piece of bronze carried the cosmos. A beautiful, intricate, and perfectly human story. A story of wonder, of loss, and of incredible rediscovery. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time. There are countless other stories waiting to be told. Hidden in the earth, under the sea, or in forgotten texts, the chronicle is never-ending, and the discoveries continue. Let us seek them out together and see what we can find. If this story of ancient wonder moved you, subscribe and share to continue our journey into the past.